Hello to Darkness344 here, and today I'm not on my creative world, as you may see. I'm actually on a private server that I own, and I have been preparing a small, well, rather large project over the past week or so, past few weeks, and as you can see, this is some of it right here. So what I've been doing over here is actually been digging a perimeter, and I'll explain that later on in the video. So I'm going to make this a series almost, because there's a lot of things that I want to cover, and it's still I still haven't finished it, of course, so it's going to take a very long time to finish it in its entirety. So yeah, I'll have to show it all off in series, I guess, like episodes kind of thing. So as you can see, we have a perimeter over here, and that map is still not updated, and basically we've been digging this out from here, and it's 4 chunks by 6 chunks, and we're gonna make it basically like an industrial district kind of thing, but with a few slight modifications. So what I was thinking a few weeks ago, how about what are redstone computers actually useful for, you know? Because they're great and all, like, and they help you learn, but what happens if you want to use them in Minecraft survival? What would you use them for? So that's basically what I've come up with a really cool idea, I think anyway, for a redstone computer, and of course it's not rendering properly. And yeah, that will be, we'll have a cool redstone computer down here controlling all the farms, and I'll explain that as we go on in each individual part. So at the moment we've just been digging it out, as you can see. We still have 4 chunks and that bit down there left, and that shouldn't take too long. We've been just mining it with picks and stuff, as well as just TNT bombing it. Like I made this creeper farm a while ago, my own design actually. Oh yes, no tutorials needed. And I have a TNT bomber here, which basically bombed out a bit of this. F in chat for the cow. But yeah, and we've been getting a lot of resources as well. And this server ain't the most lag efficient thing, as you can see. It's quite stuttery. Also, that's how I've been repairing our tools, just a gold farm by Navinexus. You may ask, why is it in the perimeter? I mean, why is it dug down? I just wanted it to be dug down in the hole, so yeah, not really much reason to do that. But yeah, so I've basically been digging this out, as well as mob proofing all of these things. Creeper. But yeah, it's been taking a bit of time and a lot of resources, but I'm pretty confident we can get this finished in this month anyway, September. So yeah, it should be quite easy just to do the last chunk, as we've already done these first 2 chunks. That wandering trader is really annoying me. But yeah, once we get it finished, we have a little control thing over here, which I have already started planning out. So let's just log on to my actual testing world right now, and I will show you the first part. This will be like the first starter kind of episode, and I'll explain a bit of the other episodes, like what's gonna be coming up. Ooh, diamonds. However, this will be how big the perimeter is when it's done. So 6 chunks by 4 chunks, and you'll have a center chunk. It'll be like this chunk or something in the middle. So as you can see, I have been building a lot of stuff. It's really not that much, but I've been on mobile building this because I was on holiday. But yeah, I have these control rooms, which I'll explain in detail in like next episodes and stuff. But yeah, the general gist of it will be there'll be basic control rooms where you can flick levers and stuff and send commands to different computers, I mean different farm modules and stuff that do that. And over here I've been designing some Ceretic farms. Of course it's Navinexus' design again, he's amazing at these things, but I've modified it so it also has an error correction. I mean, so it checks if it's broken or not, because they can break if they go out of render distance. But I'll talk about that later on, of course. So I'm still planning out how everything's going to go, like what the walkways will look like water stream designs and stuff. So like being able to divert item flow, and also storage systems and stuff. And if you didn't know, I actually have done quite a lot of technical Minecraft as well, so I do know a bit, not just redstone computers. And I will show this off, all of this, in later episodes, as well as this, which, who knows what this is. I will show that off later. So basically, we've been digging the perimeter, and I don't want it just to be a big ugly hole in the ground. Of course, it looks nice for me, but most other people would not say this looks like a nice hole, would you? So you want nice walls around it. So you could just do either just one colour, which is easy enough to build, but it kind of looks a bit bland. Some people do massive patterns in the walls, and that looks really good as well, but it's still a bit annoying to build. Say you wanted a complex pattern like this. Say you wanted a pattern like one of these. This pattern looks really good, by the way. So we're going to go with this pattern, but then that's going to be a very big nightmare to build, because you're going to have to place 3 blocks, then another 3 blocks, then another 3 blocks. It's going to be all different colours and stuff. It's just going to be very annoying. Sorry about that. But basically, say you wanted a really complex pattern like this, and we're going to use this pattern just because I think it could look really cool around this perimeter. And as you can see, it does look pretty cool. And of course this is concrete powder at the moment, but that's because we're not going to be placing it. We're going to have a machine that places it. So I was messing around with, I was like on YouTube just looking around and stuff, and I saw all these cool like 3D printers in Minecraft and 2D printers in Minecraft by like people really clever redstoners like ilmango and stuff. So I was thinking, how about if you make a perimeter wall like that? I also saw on SciCraft they had a really nice perimeter wall made out of concrete, but it was like just random pattern on it, and they did that by having a dispenser, right? Pretend that's a dispenser with a timer and a player placing a block just down like this, and then they had a piston that each time you place a block it pushes it along, and they used these things like this, right, just to shift the block along. So let's just show you. So when a block went past, it just shifts another along. I can't really demonstrate it like that, but yeah, it was pretty cool, and that's how they did it. So I thought, why not mix that with a machine to make a pattern? And as you can see, that is what I've done. So most people, if they were doing something like that, they'd make some complex redstone machine, but I was like, why not just use a computer? Because computers are quite simple. And here is a small computer that I have made to do this pattern, as you can see. These command blocks up here are only so I don't have to fill this filament up. Of course, in our survival world, we'd have to pillar this up and keep it topped up. And that could be a bit annoying, but it shouldn't matter too much. So I've made this computer over here. I have made other versions. Admittedly, I've made much larger, more complicated versions just because I could. I don't know. And this one is just this one doesn't even have an ALU or RAM. Like my previous versions have had an ALU and conditional branching so you could use it as a counter. So like maybe this one goes 5 blocks of this color, then 7 blocks of this color, then 2 blocks of this color, without having to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it basically reduces how much program memory you should need. But this only has 10 lines, I think, of program memory. You only need 9 lines, but I put in a 10th line just to make sure, like as just in case it breaks, it can still have 1 line to stop it. I don't know why I put in that extra line. But yeah, so I was messing around with these computers. I originally was going to do what ilmango was doing, where you just place the block down. Like there's a player that places the block down like this, and the piston pushes it across. However, I run into a few complications. Like one, I'd need to AFK here for 28 hours, and I'm not doing that because I know this will probably take more than 28 hours doing it, but at least we don't have to AFK placing a block. And also if you're using an auto clicker or something, it could go wrong technically. I'm just gonna break this. So yeah, it would be a bit annoying if it broke, because it would break the whole thing. Like with this pattern, if one block is misaligned, it breaks the whole thing because it's concrete powder, and so it falls down. Like here, let me just demo. If this block is wrong and it breaks it, it destroys the whole pattern basically. And yeah, you can run into a few issues. I've run into a few issues with this computer. That was mainly because the phone that I was using to run it on when I was building it was a P20 Lite, and it probably wasn't the best decision or purchase that I have ever made in the world, as it keeps constantly crashing on Minecraft. Like, it's a fairly optimized game, but it still crashes. It's not funny. But yeah. So yeah, this shouldn't crash as much on a server. So yeah. And basically, I mean, I came up, what was I saying again? I was saying, so instead of using a dispenser, I thought, why not just use like one of these 3D printing kind of filament sort of thing. Also, yeah, maybe for 150 subscribers I'll 3D print my redstone computer, because I have now got the cheapest 3D printer in the world for only a grand total of 80 quiddos. And I may try 3D print a redstone computer just because I can, and it could be funny. But yeah, so I thought, why not make a filament based design? So here's my design. Most people wouldn't use a computer, they'd use like a chest with all the blocks in a certain way, then an item decoder, then decodes it to the pushers. But a computer's easier just for a pattern like this. And those item decoders means you kind of need double the amount of items, because you need this much items plus this much items again for just the filters alone. Unless you plan to reuse it, but that'd just be a bit annoying. So this is the extruder, you could say, and it comes down just this one block over here. Basically, so I want to do the color white. I just pulse it like this. And the color white goes into the extruder, and then it just extrudes like that. So I wanted to do the color light gray. I would choose light gray, and this would have to pulse as well. And then I could just extrude it, just like that. Pretty simple, and that's the same with dark gray as well. I'll just show that off, because just to show that it works. And you can do this with as many colors as you want, because you don't just have to have pistons like this. You can also stack them like this. Hang on. So say you had another color that was here, and this got pushed out here. This piston would activate, pushing this down to here. This piston would activate, pushing it down to here. That means you could pretty much have infinite colors if you wanted to, though there's only really 16 concrete colors. And since concrete powder falls, it means you can do really cool looking patterns and then pour water over it to make it solid, like this one over here, which is probably what we're going to do. So I guess let's get started on the computer. So this is a very simple computer. I can't even say if it's a 4-bit or 2-bit computer, because all it is a program counter and program memory, as well as 3 commands. And these 4 are just the address. As you can see, it just addresses to the next line. So it's on a small clock. I could probably make it faster, but it's better I don't. So it's as simple as turning it on. It should go to line, it's not on line 0, that's not good. I'm going to turn it off, then I'm going to pulse it once, and then it should go to line 0 when I turn it on. So when I turn it on, ah yes, line 0. So I've adjusted this pattern, so if I just break all of this rubbish, it means it should perfectly align with the rest of this, hopefully. So yeah, I guess let's start it. And as you can see, it has started placing the concrete. So yeah, it's a pretty cool design, if I say so myself. It's not the most efficient design in the world, but it just about works, as you can see. It's really dodgy, to be honest. And the way I've done these extra piston extender kind of things to extend the piston push length is basically, I could have put an observer down here, then had a 2-tick repeater into that, but this design's cheaper. You only need 1 observer, sticky piston and the slime block, as well as 2 pieces of scaffolding, because this scaffolding, this observer detects this scaffolding block update by the thing. This is another one of Ilmango's designs. Haha, Navi Nexus 0, Ilmango 1. But yeah, basically, as you can see, it lines up perfect, and we'll continue going all the way around the wall. So I'm tempted to do a time lapse. I probably will do that in a minute, but first, this game is so laggy. I don't know what's making my frames lag. OBS is kind of probably killing me again. But yeah, basically, as you can see, it just goes line to line. So pretty simple. It just addresses the next line, and on the clock it goes to the next line. Pretty simple. I could have even used like just a counter, a simple counter, but this works just as well. And whenever it goes on the line, so as you can see, when it goes on this line, it goes through here. This piston pushes down to turn the signal off, so this can unload, then reload. And this is just a pulse shortener. Shortens the pulse and just gives a quick pulse to one of these pistons that retracts and extends, just like that. That's the problem with using command blocks and observers. And then this line also doesn't just pulse the pistons, it also controls the extruder circuit. These go first, then that goes down there, as you can see. So these pulse, then that pulses. And as you can see, it makes a nice pattern. So yeah, it pretty much works. You can't really pause it, so we will, in our survivor world, we'll have a massive chest array kind of up here, with hopefully enough concrete. I'll probably do some maths and calculate how much concrete we need, and we'll gather that amount of concrete and just place it down as we go. And all we have to do is just place the colours, like I'll just place it down here when that goes down. And as you can see, I just have command blocks doing it at the moment. But yeah, so yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. I'll do a quick time lapse of this filling up, and hopefully it'll go around the corner. And I'll show off the other things in the next episode, and a bit more of the farms and how it will work. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this. Yeah, please like and subscribe, and I guess enjoy the time lapse, and after that it will finish. So let's go into amazing cinematic mode. Alright, yeah, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I am out. So, one thing to note, it doesn't go around corners that well, but anyway, in our perimeter we'd have blocks over here anyway, so that would not happen. So yeah, I guess, please like and subscribe, thanks for watching, and I am out.